Catching transmission problem, one early warning sign is delayed shifting in both automatic and manual cars. In real-world driving, this means the car hesitates before going into gear. For example, you shift into drive or reverse and the car doesn't move right away. This can be caused by low or old transmission fluid, a clogged filter, or worn internal parts. Delayed shifting usually gets worse over time, and if it is ignored, the gears can begin to slip, leading to overheating or failure. Another common symptom is rough or jerky shifting. Instead of smooth gear changes, the car may lurch forward or backward. This can be due to low fluid, dirty fluid, worn clutch plates, or computer problems in automatics. Jerky shifting is a sign that parts are struggling, and continued driving causes fast wear and more expensive repairs. Grinding, buzzing, or whining noises are also early signs of trouble. Drivers may hear these noises while shifting or accelerating. They are often caused by low fluid, worn bearings, worn synchronizers in manuals, or worn planetary gears in automatics. Noise usually means metal parts are rubbing together, which causes fast internal damage. Another warning sign is when the car slips out of gear. This feels like the car suddenly goes into neutral, even though the driver didn't touch anything. Gear slipping can come from low fluid, failing parts, or computer problems. This is dangerous because the car can lose power while driving or merging into traffic. A burning smell coming from the car can also be related to the transmission. The odor might be a sharp, burnt oil smell, often strongest after driving. This usually means overheated transmission fluid or leaking fluid that drips onto hot parts. Overheating quickly destroys internal parts, and fixing it early is usually cheap compared to rebuilding a transmission later. Many cars will also turn on a transmission warning light or a check engine light. Sometimes there are no other symptoms yet. The vehicle's computer may have detected slipping, shifting problems, or fluid issues. A warning light is often the very first sign of trouble, and addressing it quickly can prevent costly repairs. Drivers should also watch for red, pink, or brown fluid leaking under the car. A puddle or small drips could be caused by a worn seal, damaged gasket, cracked transmission pan, or loose line. Low fluid can destroy a transmission faster than almost anything else. A small leak that costs little to fix can turn into a full rebuild if ignored. A car that shakes or shudders at certain speeds is another early sign. In real-world driving, this feels like a vibration when accelerating or shifting. Low fluid, a worn torque converter in automatics, a worn clutch in manuals, or bad transmission mounts can cause it. Shuddering typically gets worse and can damage more parts over time. Manual transmissions also have symptoms that show up only when shifting by hand. One is having trouble getting the gear lever into gear. The shifter may feel stiff or stuck. This can come from a worn clutch, low hydraulic fluid, or worn synchronizers. Forcing gears only causes more damage, and early repairs are usually simple compared to late repairs. A slipping clutch is another manual-specific symptom. The engine may rev higher, but the car doesn't speed up the same amount, especially going uphill. This means the clutch disc or pressure plate is worn. A slipping clutch usually gets worse fast, and eventually the car won't move. Another sign for both types of transmissions is unusual shaking or clunking when shifting into drive or reverse. It can feel like the car thumps into gear. This can happen because of worn transmission mounts or low fluid. If ignored, the shaking can break mounts or cause extra wear, making the car unsafe. If a driver notices any of these symptoms, there are smart next steps to take. The first is to check the transmission fluid if the car has a dipstick. Some newer cars do not. The driver should look for low fluid levels, a burnt smell, or very dark color. It also helps to write down exactly what happened, when it happened, whether the car was cold, whether the problem happened on the highway, or whether it happened while shifting into reverse. These details help mechanics diagnose faster and usually more cheaply. The next step is to get the car inspected by a trusted mechanic and ask for a transmission fluid check and a computer scan. Until the problem is checked, it is best to drive gently and avoid towing, fast acceleration, or long trips. There are also common mistakes drivers make when transmission problems start. Many people ignore small leaks or weird smells. Others assume the problem is the engine when it's actually the transmission. Some drivers top off fluid without finding the cause of the leak, which fixes nothing. Many continue driving hard even after slipping or jerking starts, which speeds up damage. Waiting for the problem to go away usually leads to bigger bills later. The bottom line is that transmission issues usually begin quietly. Small symptoms don't mean the car is dying. They mean the car is asking for help. Catching problems early keeps the vehicle reliable, safe, and far less expensive to repair. If something feels off, even if the car still drives, it's worth getting checked. If you'd like, I can now turn this into a short printable guide, a mechanic-friendly symptom list, or a version written for complete beginners.